Welcome to Bet On It, the wild card week format. Look, guys, this is the final frontier here. We have to make some money this NFL season. I'm going to bring in both of our guys who have helped you do that all season long. And hopefully I didn't lose you any money with my best bets. It was one of those roller coaster ride type of seasons, but we got there. Marco D'Angelo, Gianni the Greek Corrales. Welcome, guys. Apologize for any video delays. As you guys know, I'm on vacation, but I'm still here for you. Let's get right into those primetime games. Tampa Bay at the Washington football team. I already saw a tweet from our friend Ralph Michaels earlier, so I know he's going to have some good TNA for this one. Marco, I'm going to start with you. Tampa Bay, 8.5 at Washington football team. I got the WagerTalk odds page pulled up right now because I just want to confirm that. Marco, I'll let you go first. Tell me your thoughts because you already know how I feel about the home dog.
Yeah, Kelly, and this is one of those ones where, man, you look at it, the narrative's going to be Tampa Bay. They scored 31, 47, and 44 over the last 3 games, and we're looking at a Washington Redskin team 15, 13, and 20, and then everybody watched that game on Sunday night. They saw how ugly that football game looked, and Philadelphia even is, playing, pulling Jalen Hurts and everything else. It still was only a 6-point game. Washington, worst record of any playoff team entering this season. I don't know, this might be the worst record ever. It's just too easy for me to look at Tampa Bay in this game. I got to look at the Washington side. Couple things to note. This will be Tampa's 3rd road game in 4 weeks. Something that, we always look at during the regular season. Granted, this is the playoffs and it's a new season, but still, that's a lot of travel for Tampa Bay. Not only are they traveling, Kelly, this game is Sunday night. Sunday night, up north, it can get a little chilly. We're looking at a game time temperature in the 30s, so they caught a break there. It's not bone-chilling cold, but it is definitely going to be colder than it is in Tampa for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the one thing I'm going to say about this game with Washington, how I like, the better defense getting points. And there's no question Washington's defense has played well all season. Granted, they're in a crappy conference, division, I should say. We can't argue that, Kelly, but it is what it is. They can bring pressure. And Chase Young is a guy that is going to be a force in the NFL. And Tom Brady, the games that he's had problems this year are the games where the pass rush was able to put pressure on him, knock him down a few times, and I think Washington's going to be able to do that. I'd say you got to go with the home dog here. Looking at Washington, I'll take Washington plus the big number here. It's a lot of points, and I'm sure when we talk to Ralph later, he's going to tell you, wild card round, the dogs have been good. Going to look at that. But I will point out, Kelly, this is the wild card round, but it is a little different this year because of the format of the way they did the playoffs this year, adding the extra team. So all of those stats that we're going to quote from the past with wild card, just remember this is a different year and a little bit different format.
All right. Thank you, Marco. VR, your thoughts. This one, total coming down a little bit from 46.5, 45. Is that anyone that steamed that starting off?
No. And here's what I wanted to say. I live for the postseasons in all sports. I think that's where the value is, meaning the edges are greater because the influx of casual bettors that crash the party, the lines have to be factored towards that. And sharper bettors tend to get a little bit greater of an advantage. And then with unquantifiable factors such as motivation, it's there in the postseason. You don't have to try to quantify it. So that's why I think the edges are greater. And most of my bets are all going to be 4% and 5% plays. Whoever's been with me the last 4 or 5 years knows that in the postseason. I haven't bet this game throughout this show. I'm going to try to share what I have bet with you. I've placed about 4 bets so far. I had a great NFL season. That's because I found good bets to place. About 300 picks I gave out and placed, over 60% winning percentage. That comes out if you bet 100 per NFL game, you made $5,000. You bet a nickel on every NFL game I gave out, you should have made $25,000. That's a good NFL season. And the reason I bring that up is not to tout myself, but it's to set this game up. And I'm not trying to sell a pick. I'm trying to make money betting sports. And this game looks like this to me. Here's how I'm going to play it. And this is what my subscribers are probably going to see. It looks to me like Tampa Bay has to be involved in a teaser. Because you're getting through 7, you're going through 3, and the total's down to 45, and what's arguably, at least the market's telling us, should be a lower scoring game. So at least we know there's teaser value on the favorite. Whether you like the favorite or not, again, we're here to place good bets. We're not here to predict outcomes. We're not here as fans of these teams. We don't give a shit who's playing it. The bottom line is that's the team that just happens to be there. It happens to be Tampa Bay. In that scenario, teasing them down makes sense. On the flip side of the coin, it's the wild card round. We know in this round, points don't matter. Historically, in the NFL, a little greater than 8 out of 10 times, points don't matter. Meaning pick the winner and you're going to cash your ticket. The favorite either covers or the underdog wins outright. They hardly don't need the points. Only 2 out of 10 times do they. In the playoffs, it's even less. Just pick the winner. The highest just pick the winner round is the wild card round, 88%. Close to 9 out of 10 times, the spread is irrelevant. The favorite either blows the dog out or the underdog wins the game outright. There's the fear of the underdog winning the game outright. For me, it sets up nicely. I think I'm going to have a Tampa Bay teaser, and I'm looking where I'm going to tie that up. And I think I'm going to have the Washington side as plus money as well. So hopefully I get a middle there where I get Washington to keep the game within a touchdown, and they break that mold of winning the game and covering the game and winning it outright. But then on the flip side, we have the teaser side with the Tampa Bay side as well. I think it just sets up like that kind of game. I could see it being closer scoring, and more importantly, falling into that 10-20% range where the points actually do matter. I think this game has a higher probability of that happening, where we don't just toss it out the window of picking the winner. And Marco nailed it. This is much different. It's a different season. But what I want to add to that is every year's a different season. And what I mean by that is whenever we bring up trends, you got to always factor that in, that if we're bringing up a trend, the teams we're discussing the trend about are years in the past. It's not the same team we're talking about today. It's completely different scenarios, completely different situations, and we're all going to pick the trend that supports our narrative. So I'm always cautious when it comes to trends. But on a trend like this, which is a huge sample size, where we know in the playoffs, points don't really matter, this kind of game scares me because I got a feeling the points may. I have no bet on the game. I don't know any wise guy action on the side or the total that I could confirm, but I really do think I'm possibly going to have a Tampa Bay teaser working, and I have a good feeling I'll be grabbing points with Washington as well. 2 completely different bets, and to me it doesn't matter. Again, I'm here to place bets. I don't care about even watching the games.
I care about watching the games because I enjoy the sweat and the torture. Apparently, it is funny. I hear so many professional guys say, why watch the game? Why age yourself? Why stress yourself out? Apparently, I am a glutton for punishment.
I just honestly, Sunday Night Football, I wanted to. And I sent out UFC for the 27th of January. You know what I mean? I would. Seriously, so it's even if I'm celebrating that game, I could be getting crushed in NBA. I could be 0-6. So that's why I don't really get involved. But I watch Sunday Ticket and I watch UFC. Those are the things I enjoy.
All right, good to know. I watch everything, including Korean baseball and Russian table tennis when everything was completely shut off. That was a low time in my life. Let's go back to a better time. Sunday prime time, the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one was 3.5, now up to 6 VR. It looks like several staff members will not be in attendance for this game. Total 47.5. Your thoughts on the AFC North matchup?
I have a bet on this game, but first, real quick, I got to share it with our Bet On It audience because they're my favorites. And I got the best Christmas present I ever got in my entire life. And I just got to share it with our show. This is my new little guy. As you guys know, I lost my dog of 16 years like 6 months ago, about a year ago. And my family brought me this new little guy now, so he's my man.
What's his name?
Rocky. He's Rocky. And I didn't even, because he's a southpaw. Dude, everything he does with his left hand. And as soon as he came in the house, he took control. He slapped the cat with his left hand, and he kept trying to get up on the couch. And because he couldn't get up, dude, for 30 minutes, he bounced off that couch, like was hitting his head. He would not stop. I'm like, he's Rocky. He just doesn't know better, dude. This guy's just going to keep coming. So he's the Rock now.
I love it. I love it. Merry Christmas.
What else would a guy from the south side of Philly call his dog but Rocky? Come on.
Right? Thank you. Marco remembers Bruiser. Bruiser was with me 16 years, man. My pride and joy.
Well, I remember the first time I saw Bruiser. I mean, you've got Ace, big guy. And Ace used to, back in the day, sometimes he used to, sport a mink coat and everything else. And he said, he would talk about his dog, Bruiser. And then I see this little dog come out. I'm like, what the?
I remember it.
This is great. You guys are getting a special edition to Bet on It today. We're going behind.
Yeah, thanks for sharing it. You're like family. Honestly, I know it's a show, but everyone's like family. Not just me, you, and Marco, who all love and know each other outside of work, but the people that watch this every week. They're kind of like family. So thank you for sharing that with me. Now back to the pick, because I know that's what you're here for. I bet Pittsburgh.
We're always here for dogs. I want everybody to know that.
Thank you. I bet Pittsburgh -4. And here's why. I thought they should be around a touchdown favorite. I really do. We know their dominance against Cleveland. I think they're a little bit undervalued. I think Cleveland's a little bit overvalued. I thought the market was going to move in my direction. My goal was to put a good ticket in my client's pocket and myself. I think we did that at -4. Here's the worry, guys, because I'm honest with you. One of the groups I work with this morning bet 151, Cleveland +6.5. That was a little worrisome to me. Again, I don't just piggyback what these guys do. I'm fortunate to work with them and get good information. But with that said, I also know how hard it is to win long term. And the guys that do, I got to respect when they place a bet. But it could be a middle. It could be a lot of different things. But I do like the Pittsburgh side because I made the line a lot higher than this one reflects. Bottom line is this. Cleveland's had a great year now at 11-5, and they are taking that next step. But they haven't done anything as far as the betting market's concerned. They're 6-10 against the spread, Kelly. They haven't outperformed the betting market. Now, with that said, they're in a different position in this spot. They're in the underdog role. And I think that's why you're starting to see some sharp money when it moved up to that 6 range. Because these two teams know each other. They just played. Now, I get it. It's going to be a completely different game than what we just saw the other last week. But the bottom line is they play twice a year, every year. Now, again, Pittsburgh has dominated the series. Cleveland's won, 2 in the last 8. One of them was 2 of the last 10. One was just the other day. So it's been a Pittsburgh series. And again, pick the winner. You should cover the spread. So the Pittsburgh -4 looked good. -6, I'm not all that sure if it's plus EV. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know at -110 if it's plus EV right now. I would, if these guys didn't come in at +6.5, I would say yes, that in the playoffs, I would still lay it. That I think there's still enough value there for it to be plus EV at -110 at laying 6. Now, though, I'm not too sure that I saw respected resistance. These guys aren't number pickers. They're not guys that are just value shoppers. That's why I got to give it a little bit of respect. And I was so interested in seeing what Marco has to say about this game because knowing Pittsburgh so well, and I know he's not biased because he'll back his opinion with his money. And when it comes to that, and you do it as long as he has, you're not going to be biased. And again, I gave Pittsburgh out. It's a 4% play. And real quickly, I hope if you're new to jumping on with me, I give a volume. I hope the percentage is just a reflection of strength. Please, if you Sunday I gave 10 4%, 9 4% plays and 1 5% play. I hope you didn't put out 40% of your bankroll plus VIG, 45, 50% of your bankroll on a Sunday afternoon of NFL. Please don't do that. But yeah, I had Pittsburgh -4. They're now -6, 6.5. I don't know where it is right now, but like I said, that group took the 6.5. That worries me a little bit. That's why it's not 6.5. I'm looking now, it's 6 everywhere. So yeah, some sharp resistance that worries me. I'm on Pittsburgh. Marco will tell us what to do.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear. Look, I'm with you on Pitt early on, but now you're right, VR. Once you hit a certain threshold, has the market overreacted? I know we're not doing a look ahead line segment this week, Marco,
Right.
but this kind of is a similar thing. This one opened low, then we got news with the COVID situation in Cleveland. Has this one gone too high?
Well, one thing I'm going to say in listening to what Gianni had said here is the fact that they jumped in now at 6.5, to me makes the Cleveland side seem even a little bit stronger. And I'll get Ace's take on this because honestly, Kelly, the public has not got involved yet. All right. The news just broke yesterday about the coaching situation. And if, when the public actually bets, and we know that once college basketball starts in full tilt, it's even later for the casual bettor to get to the window for the NFL because most bettors have limited bankroll. They can't tie their money up on Tuesday for Sunday games because then they don't have money to bet during the week if they're at a place where they got to post up. And so when their money comes in, it's only one way that their money is going to go, in my opinion. It's going to go to the Pittsburgh side because the COVID situation in Cleveland, they're going to look and say, Cleveland was in a must-win situation last Sunday. The Steelers rested all of their key players, and yet the Steelers were a 2-point conversion away from sending that game to overtime and breaking the hearts of every Cleveland Brown fan there was. And now they come back home, and Pittsburgh's where they've won 17 straight. How does this not get to 7 when the public gets involved? So I'm surprised that some of the sharp outfits already jumped in on Cleveland and not waited to pick off those 7s. Now, granted, I understand that every time a 7's going to pop up, it's going to be a race to the sharps. They're going to be on, they might have bots set up already that as soon as it hits 7, you put the bet in right away, but everybody's going to race to grab that 7 with Cleveland. So the fact that they're willing to take a stand at under 7 tells me they really do like the Cleveland side. Now, for me in this one, I'm looking at the total. And for me, for Cleveland to have any shot in this game, they got to run the football. They got to limit Baker Mayfield having to play 3rd and longs because that's what ended up killing them in the first meeting in Pittsburgh when they were in bad down and distances. And that's when Pittsburgh's defense was at full strength. We've talked about it numerous times over the last, month, 6 weeks, the injuries the Steelers have suffered on a defensive side, and they're not as good at stopping the run as they were earlier in the season. If they get Chubb and Hunt going, especially Chubb, Cleveland can stay in this game. Can they break that 17-year stranglehold that the Steelers have, in Heinz Field? I don't think so, but they could make this game a lot closer. I am looking to the under. This is a division rivalry. They're going to be playing for the 3rd time this season. Generally, you don't see division teams playing in the wild card round, on the old format, and they know each other. The other thing I'm going to throw out, and again, I said, any stats we use with the wild card this year, put the asterisk up to it. But historically, the last 10 years, if you blindly bet unders in this round, Kelly, 50 unders, only 20 overs. And given it's a division rivalry and they know each other, I think you're going to see a very tight contest. I'm looking under 47.5. And I think, honestly, as this line has moved up, with what I expect in this game, I think there's teaser value both ways in this game. I don't see Pittsburgh getting that big blowout, and I don't see Cleveland upsetting Pittsburgh.
All right. Speaking of teasers, that's the next segment. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you guys in a few.
Every Monday at WagerTalk.com, all plays are just $9. This even includes top-rated 5% plays, which normally sell for $40. There's no better day to get winning picks than $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com and our sister site, SportsMemo.com.
Right now, you can lock in 30 days of Hakeem Profit's NBA plays, including 5% best bets, for just $4.30 per day. A 30-day NBA pass is priced at $189, but you can lock in Hakeem's for only $129. Act fast, as the price is going back to $189 at the end of the week.
Welcome back to Bet On It. This is the round. Whew. We are in the wild card round. This is the segment that has kept me afloat all season. That's right. It is time for some teasers. Marco, you are up first. Who are your thoughts on a teaser situation for the wild card round?
Well, I kind of tipped my hand a little bit in the last one, so I'll go short on the first half. You've got a team that's won 17 in a row in their stadium, fans or no fans. Until Cleveland shows they can win in Pittsburgh, there's only one way to go in this game with the teaser, and that is to tease Pittsburgh down. We're looking at they just got to win the game here at 6.5. So you use that 6-point teaser and just ask the Steelers to win the game. That is the first half of the teaser. Second half of the teaser, Kelly, I'm going to give you a little treat for Monday night, but I'll also tell our audience we'll be back here Monday with a special national championship game. No Monday Night Football, but we do have the national championship. We'll break down Alabama, Ohio State. But I'm going to give you a teaser right now. And generally, I don't do teasers in college football, but I think this is an outstanding one. And that is, I am going to tease Alabama. They're sitting at 8 right now. I'll tease them down to 2, getting them through those key numbers we talk about, asking them to just win this game. To me, it's simple. Ohio State played the most perfect game a team could play. If they can bring that same intensity 2 weeks in a row, God bless them. But even if they do, I don't think they can stop the offense of Alabama. They haven't seen anything close to Alabama's offense this year, even seeing Clemson last week. Nothing in the Big Ten comes close to it. And although Clemson was the number 2 team in the country, they don't compare it to Alabama's offense. So I am going to tease this one down and look for Alabama just to win the game. We'll talk about that game more on Monday, Kelly, because we'll see what happens as we get closer to game day. If the public comes in on Alabama, might be a little bit of value if we got some live teasers. And I can tell you, I am going to have a ton of teasers going to Monday night with Alabama. So maybe we'll be able to set up a little bit of a middle come Monday if the public goes crazy on Bama.
All right, VR, you and I were talking before we went on air about this teaser segment. You said, look, I haven't got to the window here. And I said, but VR, in the past, the wild card round has been really good. I remember, I think it was about 4 years ago, every single side hitting a teaser no matter what you bet. But you have a little PSA that you would like to give out to everybody before you give out your teaser.
Yeah, first things first, and only because it's basketball season, and I've been asked this on Twitter, don't tease NBA, don't tease college basketball. Don't do that. Please just stop. I don't want to hear about your next door neighbor's cousin's boyfriend that's up 30 grand betting NBA teasers. He's lucky. Just have him start playing lottery tickets for you because no one else is doing it. That much I can promise you. When they score 120, 130 points in college basketball, every point matters a lot less. When they score 210, 220 points in NBA, every point matters a lot less. If you can't beat minus 110 on straight up NBA and college basketball, what are those extra couple points going to help you do when now you have to win 2 games? Like, just reasonably step back. It's not me telling you that. You're smarter than me. Just step back, reasonably put that down because I say it all the time. You see it in the casino. You get a brain surgeon or an astronaut and you put them in the casino setting and they lose their damn mind. They see 15 red on the roulette wheel and they're running the bet black. They lose all sense of how smart they are and they're in gambling mode. So yeah, don't tease NBA, don't tease college basketball. And I don't want to hear about how good anyone's done doing that. Now back to this teaser segment. Yeah, teasers are good in playoffs. More importantly, the further you go in the playoffs. In fact, when we get to the championship round, many sports books will limit the amount they take on a teaser, meaning books that'll take $10,000 6-point teaser from you on Sunday in NFL will now take $500 on conference championship. Yeah, 500, a nickel in Vegas, in playoff game, championship weekend, a nickel, because they came to the conclusion that the true odds of a teaser in the championship round should be closer to minus 150, 160. Now, they can't change the rules just for 1 week. People are going to say, wait, what are you talking about? You're always going to tilt the deck in your favor? Like, really, the 1 week you think it may help us a little, you're going to charge us more? Like, so they can't do that, obviously. So instead they say, well, we're just going to limit the amount you could beat us for. So again, there's times to use them. There's times not to use them. Real quick, what are the plus EV teasers this week? Buffalo down to where they just got to win the game. Tampa Bay down to through 7-3. And Pittsburgh down to a pick 'em. Those are the Stanford 1 plus EV teasers going through a 3 or through a 7, or if you're real lucky, through both. But in this round, I think you can, in the playoffs, I do believe it's warranted to get a little more creative. I haven't done that for this segment because I haven't made my decision yet on how many and which teasers I'll use. And I never want to share an opinion I haven't backed with money. So a pick for the show, I would say Tampa Bay, like I said, down to 2, just because power rating wise, they are at least a touchdown better than Washington. Now, Washington may cover on Saturday, and I may even lean that side, but at least the power ratings do support Tampa Bay's a touchdown better. And Pittsburgh, because they're also, I do think the power ratings at least support that. The fact there's sharp money on the other side makes me a little worrisome, but that's what jumps out. Again, I haven't released any premium teaser yet. I do plan on it, and that's why I wanted to share with you as far as over these next couple of weeks, use that teaser as a weapon. Again, everything is a weapon, and you have a tool belt, you grab a different tool for a different, job. Now, you may want to use a teaser a little differently. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet this weekend, but there are some options.
There are some options. I never considered Alabama. I actually was looking just now. It's not something I've ever recommended doing, but it is a really interesting play here numerically, especially because I do think I like the Buckeye side, and I do think the public will come in on Bama. Shout out to my dad. I spoke to him on my drive over to this office space, and he said Alabama's going to blow him out of the water. So that probably means I will take a harder look at Ohio State. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Marco has a trap game for us. VR has his usual Steam game. And oh, yay, Ralph Michaels is back.
Get $25 in WagerBucks added to your account after your first purchase at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. This is just our way of saying thank you for joining the WagerTalk and Sports Memo family.
Marco D'Angelo is off and running in 2021 after a 6-0 sweep on Sunday. Marco is 12-3 overall in 2021, led by his football plays, which are 9-1. Marco's top-rated 5% plays are a perfect 2-0. Marco is offering 45 days of all-access service for the price of 30 days. Marco's 30-day all-access package sells for $349, but this week only, buy a 30-day package and receive an additional 15 days as a free bonus. You'll get every play in every sport from Marco for 45 days for just $349. Hurry, as this deal ends Sunday at midnight.
Welcome back to Bet On It. I hear that freight train rolling. That means it's time for VR Steam Game of the Week.
All right, I'm going to go with a total that I released to my subscribers already. And we're going to go to the Rams and Seattle. I gave a 4% play on under 43. That's now 42.5. Still plus EV at minus 110. It's square. But if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Listen, I don't try to make things harder than they need to be. We saw this game played not once, but twice. And we're going to see it play out again. And these teams aren't going to change. Now, the quarterback situation with LA makes it a little bit more interesting, but I don't think that changes as far as the value goes. They've adjusted this total, but there's only so low you could go. it's kind of like with the overs when this series they were scoring a lot. In the 2017, 2018 version of these two series, they were scoring in the 50s, in the 65s or so. Yeah, they went to 50, they went to 51. It's going to go over. Now they're not scoring. And these two teams had played each other last year when they played. They scored 40 in December. They scored 39 this year in November. They scored 29 just a week or so ago in December. It's just that kind of series. I can't make it any simpler than that. Now, we could get into the analytics. A team that allows the least points per game, I would say, is the perfect storm for an over. The total's low, good defense, turnovers, short fields. But the bottom line is it's only one team of this equation, and that's the Rams. When you look at the Seattle side, they're closer towards the bottom of that spectrum. You know, this isn't a defense that doesn't let up a lot of points. Let up 23, 24 points per game. So I think that's where we get that balance, just like on the offensive side of the ball, that contrast. I like the under here. Again, I just think it's a continuation of the ninth quarter. They played, 8 already, and now they're going to go 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. It should pick up where it left off. I don't think you're going to see much different style of this game.
Makes sense to me, VR. All right, Marco, I believe the deli is closed for the remainder of the football season. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Especially Kelly, since they both won with that style. You know what I mean? It's not like the one game when the Rams won, it's because they put up 40, or when Seattle won, it's because they shut them down. Both teams won playing the exact same style.
That makes sense to me. I'm with you on the under. That is either you bet the under or you leave it alone. I think it's one of those style of games. Marco, who is your trap game for the wild card weekend?
Well, Kelly, I'll be quick with this one because we already talked about this game in detail, and that is the Tampa Bay-Washington game. I think Tampa Bay is the trap here. Couple reasons. We're getting a ton of line value with Washington in this game. Why are we getting that? Well, because that division was the laughing stock all year long. And it should be. The team that won the division, had a 7-9 record. They couldn't even get to 500. They had to go to the final game of the season to win the division. It was so bad. And then they had that lackluster performance against Philadelphia, who really looked like a team that was trying not to win the ball game as best they could. Then you throw in the Tom Brady factor. Everybody loves Tom Brady. They're going to bet this team. And why wouldn't they bet this team? They've scored 31, 47, and 44 points the last 3 games. Well, as Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friends. Let's take a look at the 3 teams that they scored all those points against. It was against Atlanta, Detroit, and Atlanta again. Those are 2 horrible defenses. They've been all year. They've given up a ton of points all year. So let's not get excited about Tampa and how well they played. Let's remember that right before those 3 games where they put up a ton of points, they struggled with Minnesota for a while before putting them away 26-14. They lost to Kansas City. They lost to the Rams. Not saying Washington is with the Rams or Kansas City, but like the Rams, Washington has a very good defense. And I look for this one to be much closer than anybody expects it to be. I'll take the Washington football team. Primetime home dog, Kelly, Saturday night. And I'll say this, wait till Saturday to play it for maximum line value, because his line's only going to go one direction. If it moves at all, it'll continue to go up. It's not going to come back down because the books will not move it to open themselves up to more teasers.
Makes sense to me, Marco. I am with you there. Let's bring in Mr. Ralph Michaels, maybe with some TNA to support that play. Mr. Ralph Michaels, one of my favorite guys at Cal Sports LV on Twitter. Now, I know you guys see all of Ralph's incredible tweets regarding all of these data points, including my best bets favorite one this weekend, which we'll get to here in a minute. But Ralph also puts out a ton of other information over at WagerTalk.com, all for free. Ralph, can you tell everybody what you got up at WagerTalk currently?
I posted 2 things, Kelly, in the last 2 days. Both are free. All you have to do is go to WagerTalk.com, go to the Ralph Michaels page, and you can download them. First is just an NFL stat sheet. I basically broke down every stat in the NFL. I have what the numbers are and what the rankings are. So if you want to know how a team does yards per carry against a team's defensive yards per carry, kick return offense against kick return defense, it has this entire year, quarter by quarter, so you can check out quarter scoring. That is the NFL playoff stat sheet. And then basically what I did is I took the coaches that are coaching this week. I have their entire playoff history, game by game, broken down. That is the NFL playoff coaches report. Both free, WagerTalk.com, and then go to the Ralph Michaels page. For those who have never downloaded anything, you do have to input your name, your address, and your email address, but no credit card is required, so don't worry about that.
All right, good point, Ralph. You're right. You do have to be a member of WagerTalk, and while you're there, browse around, look at some other stuff, and maybe I'll get Johnny Detroit to give out some wager bucks, so you guys can check out a new handicapper. All right, Ralph, it is Wild Card Weekend. We have seen some wild stuff over the last few years in this round. Now, this round's a little bit different than we've seen in years past, but you've got some great data points that you think are still relevant.
Boy, Kelly, not even talking about this year, this COVID year where the home field edge has been less than in the past. If you blindly bet every road team in the wild card round since 2002, so we're almost talking 20 years here, you have cashed 62% of the time, going 44 and 27. When I break it down more recently, since 2013, listen to these numbers. If you bet every road team, you have cashed 64% of the time. If you have bet every under, you have cashed 71% of the time. Road teams in the wild card round, 16, 9, and 3 ATS. Over-unders in the wild card round since 2013, 8 overs and 20 unders. Now, this doesn't mean to blindly play every road team and every under, but make sure you talk yourself into some good reasons why you're looking at the over and or the home team in this round.
I like to see that. And, well, are we specifically talking about home favorites? Because traditionally in the playoffs, the favorites, well, the home team is a favorite, but let's use Washington football team, for example. They did get the home field advantage, yet they're a sizable underdog.
Well, I have two stats, and they're actually going to go opposite each other. So you have to decide what you want to do here. If you look at home dogs since 2013, home dogs are 0-5, and all 5 games have gone under the total. So, that's one subset that we're looking at. But if we look at teams with losing records or teams that were 8-8 or worse, so that was Seattle in 2010, Carolina in 2015, Denver in 12. They were then the San Diego Chargers in 08, the Giants in 06. All of those teams in the wild card round had a losing record or were 500. Those teams not only have gone 7-0 against the spread, they've gone 6-1 straight up. And again, for the most part, they were dogs. So an incredible number that I think you're just looking at teams that are so overvalued. You're looking at, let's say, Tampa Bay. Who wants any part of the Redskins this week? And we've seen the value in that. So let me repeat that. Wild card round only, teams with a losing record like Washington or teams at 500 like Chicago in the past have gone 7-0 straight up, 6-1 against the spread.
That's a great stat, Ralph. I can't wait to use it for my best bet segment. There's a little teaser spot for you guys. What else do you have for this wild card week?
I want to give a shout out to John Ryan. John Ryan's new at Sports Memo. He gave me a couple playoff scenarios that he has and he likes, and very happy to use them. So, John, thank you very much. Check him out, sportsmemo.com. Home teams in the playoffs that allow 2.5 points or less than their opponent, like the Pittsburgh Steelers do, have gone 31-21, 60%. I just want to say, Kel, it's not a wow number. It's 60%. But to me, it's a very meaningful stat. If on the NFL season your defense is almost a field goal better than your opposition, it just shows that those better defenses do take hold in the playoffs, as does, again, the since 2013, the record saying these games have gone under 71% of the time. John gave me one more. Interesting to think about this. Tampa Bay Washington game. Teams that have missed the playoffs for at least 3 years and are now a favorite by over 3.5 or more. Again, we know Tampa Bay has had a long streak. They've actually gone 15-8 to the over. So 65% the last 20 years when a team hasn't made the playoffs, now they're in the playoffs, and they're a favorite of 3.5 or more. Kel, I have one more section, and I go through. Basically, all I did is this, guys. If you download the coaching sections, you're going to see the teams game-by-game logs for those coaches in the playoffs. So I just found a couple things I want to mention. Pete Carroll, 1-5-1 ATS away from home last 6 playoff games. Sean Payton has lost 4 straight playoff games against the spread. He's 0-4-1 the last 5, and Sean Payton is actually 1-5 at home his last 6 playoff games. Mike Tomlin, 1-4 ATS his last 5 as a favorite. And Harbaugh, you would think Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens have defense. They are 5-0 away their last 5. They've done a nice job. And the road team, now 8-1 the last 9 times Harbaugh has gone on the road with the Ravens. Pete Carroll, 11-5-1 to the over. Ron Rivera, 5-1 to the over. Mike Tomlin, 11-4 over under his last 15 playoff games.
And Ralph Michaels, that right there is why you are the absolute best. I couldn't even write it down fast enough, so now I'm going to have to rewind this segment to get it all. Unless, of course, you'd like to send your friend Kelly an email. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for Best Bets.
So far in 2021, already ranked number 1 and up 50.20% in profit behind a record of 69.4% winners. Right now, you can lock in all of Ace's plays regardless of sport, even 5% big moves through the Super Bowl for less than the cost of a 30-day pass. To take advantage of this offer, just go to WagerTalk.com. Choose Gianni in the Experts dropdown and lock him through Super Bowl Sunday.
Welcome back to Bet On. I actually just got a text from Johnny Detroit. He said it is still $2 Tuesday, even though it is Wednesday here at Wager Talk. Normally, $2 Tuesday goes away at midnight, but the people's champ, Mr. Johnny Detroit, said, no, we want to give a special gift to our Bet On It listeners. Marco, I'm going to go to you for your best bet here in a minute. First, I'm going to go to mine. You can tell me a little bit more about this $2 extended Tuesday special. Marco already talked about it. V already talked about it. I'm on the Washington football team for every single reason you guys already know why. Because you know I love those prime time home dogs. Ralph Michaels gave an incredible stat about underdogs in the wild card round as well. I think this is too many points. And let's just be honest, this Bucs team has been a bet against team for me a lot this year. Sometimes it's been really well, sometimes not so much. I've only been on them in a handful of situations here, but I love the better defense here getting the points. Alex Smith under center, a full-on healthy defense. I think this is going to be a knockout, drug-out battle. I hope that the Washington football team can get a little sprinkle on the money line. We will see if I actually get there. I'm hoping for a 9 here on this. Currently sitting at 8.5, pretty much 8.5, pretty much across the board. As Marco said, wait to bet this one because I do think that the books are going to have to protect themselves from that Tampa Bay teaser. Marco D'Angelo, who is your best bet for this wild card weekend?
All right, Kelly, before I get to that best bet, let me elaborate on the $2 Tuesday. Guys, we're off to a great start for 2021, 9-1 with our football plays this calendar year. And we got a treat for you. As you said, Johnny normally pulls that $2 play down at midnight. but we're leaving it up for the Bet On It viewers. Guys, we just really want to thank you guys for the support all year. And if you want to get my play on the weekend, it's not a game we talked about yet. So it's not something you heard for free. You can get a big play from me in the NFL, just $2. Take advantage of it. Head over to my homepage at WagerTalk.com. All right, enough of the touting. Let's get to a winner. And Kelly, last week, I returned to the scene of a crime, a brutal crime, when we lost with Houston the week before, and we were able to get the money. I hope I drug you along, got you to the Houston window on Sunday. I know you were kicking and screaming about having to bet the Houston Texans a second time, but they got us the money. Now I'm going to go back to another nightmare and relive it. It is the Los Angeles Rams at Seattle. Yeah, that was a brutal one for us a couple weeks ago when we had the Rams in Seattle on a teaser when Jared Goff decides to slide a yard before the marker. You know, I can't get hit. I'm a prima donna. Don't hurt me. Well, we don't know if Jared Goff's even going to go in this game. I think he is. Sean McVay's not saying he's telling the media right now. I'm just not answering questions about it. Both guys are practicing. That gives Seattle two things to look at because although Wolford's not the passer that Goff is, he does add another dynamic to it as he can tuck the ball and run. And I think that's something that Seattle's going to have to concern themselves with because we saw numerous times Jared Goff could run the football. There was open lanes in that game for him to tuck the ball and run, but he chose not to do so. I think it'll be a different story this time around. And, man, I can't say the adage enough, Kelly. You give me the better defense, getting points. Where am I going to go? Okay, that is the L.A. Rams. I'll take them. I went with the Rams last week, Kelly, with the rookie quarterback making his first start. Why? Because defense was going to rule that game. I think it's the same thing here. Give me the Rams plus the 4.
I don't blame you, Marco. Good grief. That one was nauseating, but you got the cash. VR, I just took a peek at your best bet. We didn't have a barking dog segment this week, but we might as well have. I'm excited to see. I did not have the balls to bet this. I literally texted my buddy that this morning. I guess I'm going to have to get the balls to bet this because tell me your best bet for this week in the NFL.
Let me talk you into it, Kelly. All right, let me clear first because I hate being on the fence. No one tunes in to be confused. Like, okay, what does he really like? Is he on that side, this side? What did he bet? Is it a pick? So just official so you know. I'm on Pittsburgh -4. That's official. I gave it out as a 4% play. Yes, one of the groups I respect came in, took the +6.5 with Cleveland. Is there an opportunity for me to maybe limit exposure by buying some back at +6 or so? The opportunity is there, but I'm telling you now, most likely I'm not going to do it. Wise guys, schmize guys. I think I got a good bet with Pittsburgh -4. And also the under 43 Rams Seattle, that's official, 4% play. Again, all my playoff stuff's going to be 4 or 5. And this best bet is a 4% right now. But who knows? We may sprinkle that money line and add a percentage or 2 or 3 because I think they could win this game. There's only one negative, and that's indoor teams going outdoors in the playoffs historically have not done well. You don't make money betting these teams in this spot has not been profitable. That's the only reason it's not a 5% play already. If I can get over that trend between now and Sunday or Saturday when the game is, rest assured, my subscribers will receive at least 1 or 2% on the Colts +250 or so money line. Because I do think they can beat this Buffalo Bills team. Here's why. First, I get it. The indoor team playing outdoor, that doesn't do too well. The one good thing is they're playing the early game on Saturday. So hopefully the weather's not too horrific for Indianapolis. Because we saw when they went up and played in Pittsburgh, that's the game that they've lost over that last 5-week stretch where they've been winning. Now, I know the argument's going to be, oh, well, Indianapolis, are they legit? They're legit. They're a top 10 scoring offense and a top 10 scoring defense. That's as legit as you get. Now, wait, are you going to tell me, oh, what division are they in? What division is Buffalo in? What are you telling me that the Jets, New England were world beaters in 2020? Is that what you're trying to tell me? So the Colts did what they were supposed to do. They beat good football teams. They beat Green Bay. They beat Tennessee by 2 touchdowns. They're legit. Over the last 10 games, you know how many times the Colts have been underdogs? 0. None. That's how much respect the market has for them. But all of a sudden, you're going to give me a touchdown with this team because Buffalo's looked so good. They're putting up 48, 38, 56 in 3 straight weeks. Of course, they're going to be overvalued. Of course, they shouldn't be 7-point favorites. I know that. You know that. We all know that. But that doesn't mean we're going to cash a ticket. But we're getting the best of it with the Indianapolis Colts. That much I do know. Just like I said with the Ohio State Buckeyes against Clemson. I can't tell you they're going to go out there and cover and you're going to cash this ticket. But I can sure as hell promise you they shouldn't be getting a touchdown against them. And that's what I can tell you here. Indianapolis may go out there and get crushed by Buffalo. It's the playoffs. That happens a lot, especially in the wild card round where I said favorites usually crush or underdogs win outright. 9 out of 10 times almost. So again, we're asking for the improbable, but I think this is a situation where it's so mispriced because of the momentum and the hype behind Buffalo right now. And we have a legit team getting those points. It's not as if they're giving more points than they should to someone that's really not capable. Like I said, top 10 scoring offense, top 10 scoring defense in the NFL. You're capable. Give me the Colts. You got a quarterback who's got a lot of experience. Give me the touchdown. Sprinkle the money line. My subscribers got it +7. I got +7.5 -120. I gave it out +7 -110. I like it. Money line's worth the sprinkle. Let's go Colts.
I'm actually putting together what I would like to call a Saturday money line sprinkle parlay. Maybe we have an old school Hottie threesome. Rams football team, Colts, just for fun. I doubt all 3 went out right, but wouldn't that be fun to cash that ticket? All right, guys, this is our last segment, the recap, when we come back from this commercial break.
Right now, you can lock in 30 days of any NBA or college basketball plays, including 5% best bets released from your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper for just $6.63 per day. A 30-day NBA pass is priced at $189 and a 30-day college basketball pass at $189. But you can get both for only $199. To take advantage of this special offer, just go to WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, choose your favorite handicapper, and lock in all basketball action for the next 30 days. Even better, there's no limit to how many handicappers this offer can be redeemed on.
Thank you for tuning in to Bet On It this week, the Wild Card Special Edition. Primetime Saturday, Marco is on the Washington football team. VR says he's going to take a pass on this game, at least as of recording on Wednesday. Marco says on Sunday night he likes the under. VR said he already bet Pittsburgh -4. Speaking of Pittsburgh, both guys have them in their teasers this week. Marco said, hey, we know we don't always tease college football, but Alabama down to 2 looks pretty nice. And VR said, hey, it's a square teaser. He didn't actually bet it, but if you're going to make him give a teaser, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. The steam game of the week is the under in the Rams-Seattle game. The trap game, Washington football team, +8.5 is the play. Tampa Bay is trappy, Marco says. Speaking of Washington football team, that is my best bet. Marco's best bet is the Rams +4, and VR's best bet is the Colts +6.5. Every single week, you guys have been tuning in, hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys so much. Good luck this week. Again, wildcard weekend, lots of dogs barking, hopefully, for our best bets from Marco, VR, and myself. Oh, and our friend Ralph Michaels. Can't wait to see you guys on Monday for the college football national championship edition of Bet On It. Until then, don't forget, let's bet on it.